I'm feeling good.
I like a dude who fucks his life up and then gets it back together.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Good Bro, Bad Bro. This is a podcast that is for young kings and queens that want to improve their dating, their lifestyle, and overall their confidence, ability to talk to other people, and have a better understanding of male and female nature, particularly when it comes to dating and getting into relationships. I'm joined by Cringe Daddy. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, brother?
How's it going? So today we're going to be talking about why dating is easy for women and how they leverage dating as a way to basically be very selective and picky when it comes to the men that they get with, and how it's actually comparatively incredibly hard for men to be able to pull off the same thing. Now, right off the bat, you guys have probably heard before the old saying, 20% of men are getting with 80% of women. If you look at the swiping patterns of people on online dating, you can really easily see about 20% of guys are the ones getting most of the matches. Now, you are somebody that obviously knows a lot about online profiles. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, bro, it's definitely true. They say 20% of men are getting 80% of the matches on Tinder. And it's funny, like right off the bat, there's a huge discrepancy. Only like 30% of the users are female. 70% are male.
Yeah, that's another stat, guys. So
that's a big one.
76% of Tinder users in America are men.
That's huge. So like that's your 80-20 right there. Even if everyone had an equal profile, that would kind of create the 80-20. Like that discrepancy is going to explain quite a bit. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, man, like there's a lot of game theory that goes into dating apps. Like first off, if you ever sit beside an attractive or even just like an average looking chick while she's swiping on Tinder, every time she swipes right, it's a match.
That's true.
And girls will watch this and they'll be like, yeah, so what? They don't understand that for guys, it's like the complete opposite.
Yeah, they kind of live in la la land when it comes to that.
They have no idea, bro. Like they're going to see this clip on TikTok and be like, why are you guys complaining? Like Tinder's easy.
Well, that's another thing too with people on TikTok. Whenever somebody makes an observation, it's complaining.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. And I say like attractive or average looking women because there are some girls that are not getting success on dating apps that may see a clip like this and get upset.
Yes, the lower end.
Yeah. There's always going to be a scale. And like, look, we're primal. It goes both ways. Mm-hmm. We're both judging by looks.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of online dating. Mm-hmm. But like beyond that, like guys can go days or even weeks without a single match, whereas most girls can't even go one swipe without a match. Mm-hmm. Big freaking difference. Now, if you think about it, like Tinder's a business, and I think of it like a nightclub. You know, like when girls go to the club, they don't wait in line. They get right in. They don't pay cover. You know, like girls get in free before 11 kind of thing.
Yeah.
When they get into the bar, like they don't even bring cash with them a lot of the time because they know they can walk up to any guy, probably get a drink for free. A guy will buy them a drink. If they walk up to the bottle and give some guy the right look, like free drinks all night, bottle service.
For them and their friends.
For them and their friends.
So that's the thing with guys. So a guy, if he wants to wheel one girl and he has a bottle, he'll invite that girl over. But girls don't go anywhere by themselves. So the girl will bring her friends as well, which means they all get free access to the alcohol as well.
Right.
So that guy is basically willing to invest in her friends having a good time so that he can get the interest of the one girl.
Yeah. And think about it, bro. Like girls are getting a free ride throughout the entire club experience. But men have a very different experience, you know, like we'll wait an hour plus in line to get into a poppin' club. Mm-hmm. We'll pay $20, even higher cover to get in that club, buy girls drinks all night, buy bottle service. Some guys are spending thousands of dollars on bottles a night. Why? Mm-hmm. To try and impress girls.
Women are the product of nightclubs.
Yeah.
The product isn't alcohol. The product isn't the entertainment there. It's that there's girls there because no guy is going to buy anything or go somewhere where it's majority men. So think about it this way. The ratio of Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge would not work in a nightclub because if a nightclub was 75% guys, then there wouldn't be as many guys spending money to go there.
It'd be a sausage fest. No one would go to the club.
Exactly.
And clubs know this, right? Like the club hires promoters to bring good looking girls around and make sure they get in for free, make sure they get right into the club, pack the club with hot chicks because they know that's what attracts guys with deep pockets who are going to spend money on bottles and make nightclubs a profitable business.
Now, where is that 75% of men and 25% of women? It's outside the club. It's in the line. Dudes will wait hours, whereas a group of hot girls will get right in.
Right in. Now think about it. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, exact same thing. Mm-hmm. They know that girls are not... Now, maybe one girl on TikTok's watching this who bought Tinder Gold. 99% of the people buying Tinder Gold are men.
Dude.
Tinder knows that they're making themselves a massively profitable business off of thirsty dudes. But how do they get men on the app? They have a wave of really attractive girls and they say, hey, if you buy Tinder Gold for $30 a month, you might have a shot at some of these girls. So how do they get the girls on the app? They've created the dating app for men, but the validation app for women. They get women addicted to the validation of constantly swiping right and getting matches.
Every time.
Every time.
It's like a super like. When a girl accepts a super like, just think about it though. That phrase, a girl accepts a super like. She's basically saying, yes, I will allow you to match with me.
Yeah.
Which is basically her saying, I will allow you to validate me.
Yeah. And like, think about the impact that has on the game theory of the app, right? If women know that every time they swipe right, every time they approve a man, that's another dude in their DMs dropping a cheesy pickup line saying, hey, giving them another notification on their phone, they're reluctant to swipe right. They know every time they swipe right, it's a match, and they've become so picky that you have to have a near perfect Tinder profile as a man to be in that top 20% of dudes who are getting matches.
They must even think about their own algorithm too. Like if every time it's a match for them, they're going to be like, well, it's probably going to start showing me lower quality guys. Like the more freely they swipe and actually give right swipes, the higher match percentage they have, it might start showing them lower dudes, because if they're swiping right as much as possible, Tinder's going to be like, well, this is good because the more guys we can get that match with these girls, the better time the guys are going to have. So they probably start showing the girls lower end profiles of dudes, and they probably get offended. They're like, oh my God, why is Tinder even showing me these guys? So then they become way more selective, and it actually ends up getting ass backwards results, where what ends up happening is guys that are probably dateable, probably attractive to the girl, because of the paradox that these girls are stuck in on their swiping habits, they'll swipe left to keep a good ratio on the app.
Yeah.
So it becomes a game at that point to them.
And like the algorithm goes both ways. Like as a guy, if you're what I call death swiping, like swiping right on every girl, you're killing your algorithm. And what that's going to do is Tinder's going to see like, oh, this guy has no standards. He's probably not going to, he'll match with anything. What they do to your profile is either put you in between like 10 chads in a row. That way girls swipe on like 10 out of 10 profiles and they say you and they're like, fuck that guy. Or worse, they just don't show your profile at all.
No.
Like if you're on Tinder right now as a guy and you see your likes is like less than 10, that's the Tinder algorithm telling you like, hey buddy, you fucked up.
Right. Tinder needs to have the same algorithm as TikTok.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Totally, bro. Oh, I think for girls it does. Like it gets
Actually,
them, it gets them so hooked on it. Like it's like the For You page.
So what's interesting is getting guys hooked on Tinder makes them more likely to spend money and time on the app. So they have they have boosts you can pay for, they have subscriptions, they have super likes, all these different products. For women, the incentive to keep them on the app is the validation, because the more often girls are on the app, the girls aren't spending money, but when they're on the app, that means that they're swiping on guys, which keeps the guys on the app.
Yeah.
So Tinder is targeting the women to play a validation game, and they're targeting the men to play a monetization game.
Yeah.
So there's two different strategies based on gender.
And honestly, bro, like I have a whole channel dedicated to online dating, and I hate to say this, but it's like ruining dating.
Yeah.
Because it's basically showing women that like the most perfect guy for you could be lined up, but there's 99 plus guys waiting in line that you could quickly replace. Like if he doesn't check one box, on to the next one. So it's creating like a very picky environment. And then for guys, it's basically saying like, hey, you'll never find love or a partner whatsoever unless you pay us $20.99 a month for Tinder Gold.
Oh, that's another thing too, because it starts costing money as well.
Yeah.
And that's part of their game as well, because they want you, every once in a while, they'll give you a match, they'll give you something good, and then you're like, okay, this works. I'll pay for it, right? And what actually works on the app is Boost. Boost works really good, but you have to pay a lot for it.
Yeah.
Because all Boost does is it puts you into the same stack of profiles that a girl would see you in. So for example, like girls, they see all these guys, they swipe right, they have no real problem having guys to go through. But there's so many dude profiles that even if you do have a good profile, there's like thousands of other guys that are above of you in the stack. So
a girl could swipe for days and not even see your profile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Boost just puts you in the same seat that you would be in if you were just a girl, period, which is hilarious.
You know what too, man? Like, I get it. Tinder's a business. They make money off of convincing guys that paying for Tinder Gold will get them more matches. But like, bro, if you have a bad profile that like girls see it and it's easy to reject, even buying Tinder Gold, giving yourself a boost, being in the same deck of profiles as all the 10 out of 10 guys, like you're still going to have the same profile. That's making girls swipe left.
Yeah.
So in a way, like you and I have good profiles. Like we have optimized photos that are easy for girls to swipe right on.
Right.
The average guy doesn't. That's why like I hate the statistic like 80% of guys are getting, or sorry, 20% of guys are getting 80% of the girls. 20% of guys have an optimized Tinder profile.
Yeah.
The other 80%, like bro, I review Tinder profiles all day. Pretty much all of them across the board have giant red flags that guys aren't aware of.
Now let's talk about, so there's the 80% of women that are going for the top 20% of men. And then the 80% of men are left fighting over the bottom 20% of women. Let's talk about those bottom 20% of women because they exist. And
they exist in the TikTok comments of this show.
Yes, they do. There are a lot of women that are having a complete lack of dating success with men. And because of that, they are actually making us give a bad rap to all these legitimate girls that use social media platforms like TikTok. Because when I look at the comment sections of videos on the TikTok, you'll see all these super triggered, angry, purple-haired girls just dropping negative comments. You'll never see hot girls in there, though.
Never, bro.
But if all I see are these feminist girls, I just associate, okay, so it's just women in general are angry. But then I start to look at their profiles, and I'm like, oh, now I get it. Now I see why you're upset. And I think, you know, to put things in a more like political manner, I think that that's actually a legitimate problem for a lot of these girls because I think what leads to these, the same way we have incels, like men that just shit on women online.
Yeah.
There's a growing epidemic of femcels,
right?
Feminist incels.
Whoa.
And these are the girls that, despite having the female advantage of being pursued by the opposite sex and statistically having a superior edge on every dating app in every instance of dating, there are girls that doesn't apply to.
Right.
And there's a lot of them.
And they need love too, bro.
They do.
We love all those queens too.
Yeah.
They may not love us, but we love them.
Hopefully we can convert some queens this episode. So you know what? We could break down some really quick political tips for the bottom 20% of women. And like no judgment, no hate, just like straight up, if you're a girl and you're not getting desirable results on dating apps, as in you're not getting matches, then here are some things that you could do. For one, girls from a young age, they're really good at taking photos of themselves. We've discussed this in previous episodes. Like guys suck at taking photos, but girls, they're always, you know, taking breaks in class, taking selfies, group pics. Like it's just a whole thing. And you could argue that like men are more self-conscious because they feel like it's feminine behavior to take photos, which is true to an extent.
It's pretty sus, right?
Yes, pretty sus, right? And because of that, guys never get good at it. But women, they get good at it. But I would say that women that tend to be more masculine, they probably don't identify with all these groups of girls that go to the bathroom and take selfies, right? That was most girls in high school.
Yeah.
But just think about the girls that were more into like tech class, or they were more like into math and science. They didn't take as many selfies.
Right.
And because of that, they never developed those skills of taking good photos.
Maybe they're good at art or something like that.
Exactly. They have something besides that they're spending their time with.
Right.
Because social media apps affect women the same way in that they encourage women to get really good at photo taking, because when they take really good photos, they get lots of likes. And if they're in the dating market, then they get a lot of attention from men. Now, a lot of women, particularly the ones that aren't doing good, they miss out on this window. So they never have that incentive to get good at photo taking. Long story short, they don't take good photos on dating apps.
Yeah.
And they get left swipes because guys will swipe on everything. They literally get desperate on dating apps.
They're like fucking piranhas, bro.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the problem lies with men, because if men didn't give free attention and validation to women on these dating apps, if men were more selective, then there wouldn't be this huge discrepancy.
Yeah.
So it's not actually women's fault. It's men's fault.
And by the way, the Tinder algorithm rewards men for being more selective. You want to be in that top 20%? That's one big way to do it, is stop swiping right on everything that comes your way.
Absolutely, dude. That's right. Now, getting back to these women though, besides having poor photos, if you're a woman and you're not doing too good on dating apps, a couple of things that guys would see and not be interested in would be smoking. Okay, if you have photos of you smoking, like weed, 420. Because right away, when I think of girls that do that, I think of girls that like all their buddies sell weed, you know? So probably girls that fuck dudes for weed, right? Red flag. Physical shape is important, right? Men like a fit, feminine body. They like that hourglass figure. So seeing a woman significantly overweight, borderline obese, that's something that
Speak for yourself, buddy. Some guys like them thick.
Some
with
guys
3
do.
C's.
Some guys do like them thick, but statistically, most do not. So if that's you and you want more matches, just get in shape. And another thing too, actually, I was going to get with the photos. Some girls are really good at using their angles. So there'll be 2 girls. Both of them are, let's say, significantly overweight, obese. But the girl that took a lot of selfies and shit in high school, she's really good at like finding that angle where you can't tell. And that's what happens with catfish.
You know, I think a lot of the time, it's like the arm position over the torso.
Yes.
For me, I've been fooled.
In a fucked up way, I've used dating apps so much in the past that I could tell from a girl's photo if she's fat or not. Just based on like the neck, the ears.
Okay, here's a red flag.
Yeah.
If a girl has only face photos, like only floating head, you just know.
Yeah.
Like, what are you hiding there?
Yeah.
You know, and like, if you're thick, show that off, queen. Like, there's room for all of that, you know? We all need some love. But yeah, if you're just a floating head, like, it's a red flag for me. You just know right off the bat.
So those 2 are obvious. Photo taking, obviously size. Men are pretty, like, we'll do pretty much everything. The only other thing I would say that turns me off with women on dating apps, hypothetically, because I don't use them, would be the bio, man. If the bio is just aggressive, there's swear words in it, this is what I want, it just comes from a place of like, you're going to be like, men don't like disagreeable women, or girls already telling them what to do in the bio.
I was going to say, when you started like a checklist for girls to get more matches, the first thing is the bio for me. Like if she has like, do not swipe right if, and then like a list of things, once I see that, I'm swiping left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a problem right there.
I just know like, you can tell by some girls' Tinder bios that like something happened where like, you know, their heart was broken and they're just not over it. And they're like not ready for love yet. And their bio just screams that. Big red flag.
Absolutely. I mean, but here's the thing. So we only described 3 minor things a girl could easily change in 5 minutes. But if we're looking at like a guy's profile and how he can get more swipes, we could go over like 30 to 50 things.
It's a big list.
That's an example of the discrepancy of how easy it is dating for women. Now, another point to make too, back to the analogy with the clubs, the whole product is the women in the club, right? Just like the whole product is having women on the dating app. And the 24% of users on Tinder that are supposedly women, according to inside employees at Tinder, they have a really big bot problem. So upwards of 30 to 40% of those 24% women are fake accounts.
No.
Yeah.
Stop.
So that 24% women is actually more like 15%. So it's even lower.
Who's making the bots?
Men are making the bots.
No.
Because if you're a guy and you make a profile as a girl, you can basically, from the other side, understand what a guy is going to fall prey to. And then what do? Okay, well, send me this money. Add me on OnlyFans.
Bro, one time I matched with this really hot girl and she's like, yo, want to come out? Like she was like down right off the bat. I was like, yeah, let's go. And then she's like, okay, but by the way, like I have a boyfriend. I was like, all right, sure, like whatever. And she's like, he's going to be there. Is that okay? I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then she's like, yeah, he wants to get involved. I was like, well, I don't know about that.
Different app for that.
She's like, actually, what if I wasn't there and it was just you two?
What?
And then I realized I was getting catfished by a dude. Slowly started escalating towards, you know, just a homosexual hookup type scenario.
There's a special type of fucking evil troll that goes on dating apps and then puts their gender as woman, but it's a dude. And then his bio's like, I'm a dude, but just, you know, try it out.
Bro, that's a crafty gay guy. I got to pay my respects to that.
Yeah. I think they get banned.
Shooting his shot, you know?
Dude, I think we've all been there where we swipe and we're like, was that a girl? And then we go and it's like, oh, it's totally a dude. But he's like looking at, the bios are always like, I know you're not gay, but I just love sucking dick. You know, like,
Sometimes it's like, should I?
Yeah. So getting back to the theme of the video, guys, it's dating is easy for women, and here's why. So the first half of this, we've talked a lot about dating apps, but I'm going to pull up a video that accentuates what we've been talking about with dating apps. And this video is by Alex from Playing with Fire. So this guy's a cool dude. He does a lot of videos on dating apps as well, Tinder, stuff like that. And he's actually going to come on as a guest at some point. We're going to set that up. But this video is on his channel, and it basically describes exactly what we just said, but it puts to the test. We have talked about the theory. This is the practicality.
We recently did a Tinder experiment where we wanted to show how easy it is for the average girl to get laid on Tinder. In fact, we went one step further and wanted to show how easy it is for a conventionally unattractive girl to get laid on Tinder in Miami. And the results were fucking insane. We decided to go one step further and pick a girl who's conventionally very unattractive. We didn't want to pick a girl who's completely grotesque, or that might have been interesting, so we decided on her. This is a girl who
Did he put a wig on?
But she's
No, it's a girl photo.
70,
Okay.
He's
going to put it on the screen.
Pretty by any standard.
I
This
want
is a
you
girl
guys in the
who
comments to
think
comment
most
below
guys
what you
can
think
be
she
like,
is
yeah,
out of 10.
She's not that attractive, right? So let's take a look at her profile. We only did 3 photos. And this is the first photo. This is the second photo. This is the third photo.
Yeah.
And the bio was
All right.
fun size Miami girl.
Okay,
Oh, she's fun size.
She's fun sized, right? So it's something I've noticed too, actually, from clubs. The most confident girls are always the bigger, thicker girls. They're very like because they have to hit on men.
They put themselves out there, bro.
Yeah. Fat chicks, large plus size girls, very aggressive at clubs because they have to be the man. They have to be the one approaching.
I feel like too, like an introverted guy who's like maybe got approach anxiety, he's prey. To a girl like this.
It's always the thin dudes going home with the chubby Chelseas.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Love to see it.
So guys, in the comments section, based on those photos you saw, drop what you would give her out of 10. Just physically. We're not talking about personality.
That's
and
an
then
11.
also tell us.
Oh, whoa! Look at the passions, by the way.
Oh, okay. Let's
Can
see.
we? This is what makes her conventionally unattractive, by the way.
LGBTQ, mental health awareness, astrology, voter rights, vegan. Okay, a couple red flags.
She was a 10 until I saw that.
I don't even think in the video he addressed that. But those are some.
Wow.
Anyways, fun size Miami girl, recently single and looking to meet people. Who here can show me a good time? So she's literally saying, hey, I'm down to hang out, probably have a hookup. Anyways, let's keep her going.
Recently single and looking to meet people who here can show me a good time. So the goal here wasn't to somehow, make fun of chubby girls. That wasn't the goal here at all. It was just to take someone who's
Shout out to the chubby queens.
going to be
They
on
need
the
love
lower
too.
end
Yep.
of the
We
scale
love our
when it comes
chubby
to
queens.
females and see what the sexual options are for them. Is she going to struggle? Is it going to be challenging but still doable? And honestly, I was blown away by the results. So we created Tinder Gold and we just let it sit for 24 hours. Now, guess how many likes she got?
Okay, guys, 24 hours. This profile that you guys saw. Remember what you thought she was in your head. You saw the profile, 24 hours. Take a guess. How many matches? Or likes?
How many likes? Okay, so her photos with no bio, I don't think would do too well. But her bio is basically like insinuating like, hey,
She's real.
I'm real. I just got out of a relationship. Like, who's trying to smash?
Yeah.
And like, if a guy's striking out in Miami, I could see him swiping right on that. So I'm going to guess in 24 hours, 700 likes. That's my guess.
I might be thinking what she got, like 50
All right,
likes,
buddy.
100 likes, 200 likes.
This is why I didn't want to tell you
dude,
about it.
No way. She got 400 likes. She got 1,700
What the
likes in 24 hours.
Isn't that nuts?
Is
That's
fucking
1,000
insane.
more than I thought.
It's
Okay, guys.
literally
1,700 likes in 24 hours.
Wow. Dude,
That's almost triple.
how's this guy not getting banned from like catfishing that hard?
Bro, isn't that crazy? 1,700 likes, 24 hours.
Wow.
And she's like,
She's
you guys saw the pics.
Yeah,
She's pretty below average.
wow.
All
Yeah,
right.
this Jason's shooting a shot. Look at the emojis
Oh,
on
yeah,
that guy.
yeah. Guys, look at these messages too on the screen. Let's keep this going.
literally it's just getting blown up. And this is us not opening any of the guys. This is the guys that we just matched with opening.
Oh, another
her.
guy just came in.
I mean,
Yeah, another
it's
guy
just
came in.
like
Antonio.
notifications are going off like crazy.
Yeah, so she
And
didn't
then
message
you would
any of the
expect a
guys. These are
celebrity to
all
get something
guys
like this,
messaging
but
her.
it's just guys just
Wow,
opening her
bro.
nonstop, just notifications, boom.
Okay, let's read some of these. Cute. I almost don't want to ruin you.
Okay, Daniel.
Hello. You really cute. Hi, baby. How are you? Dude, I want you waiting on me in my room.
Oh my god.
Hey there. How's your day been?
boom, boom. It's like fireworks just popping everywhere.
A cute size Miami girl. Tucking the leggings into the socks. Hi, Maya. Hi, how are you? Aries, Capricorn, or Taurus? The CDC says home if you're sick.
Everywhere. The guys just could not resist. Without any boost, without any super likes, without.
And these guys
messaging
don't
any
look
of the
bad,
guys.
by
This
the way.
is
These look
simply
like some of
just
these
letting
dudes
the
are
profile
deezed,
sit
good-looking
for
dudes.
24 hours. One guy's like,
Definitely a
"Please
few
tell me
chads
you're
in there, eh?
Yeah.
That's it. And then all the guys were opening her. We didn't, message any of the guys. We didn't open her. We didn't bait them or anything like that. So these were the guys who engaged the conversation. That 1,700 guys wanna, potentially meet up with a girl who's, just say it like it is. Pretty unattractive. So let's take a look at the interactions. First of all, thick thighs do save lives, and I want some saving.
Whoa.
5 messages.
That's like a essay, bro.
That's insane. Okay, read that.
Okay, first of all, thick thighs do save lives, and I want some saving. Double winky tongue face.
Yo. Now let's talk about that good time. All my ideas end with a massage, just saying. So this guy is offering value right away. Like, hey, I'll give you a free massage.
Wow.
No reply. He waits a bit. You disappeared from my list. Okay, that doesn't happen.
Okay, buddy.
Also, you spelt disappeared wrong. I thought it was because you didn't like my massage ideas. So he took back the massage. And for the record, those thighs of yours look mesmerizing. Okay, so wow.
So Alex is shooting a shot right back saying, I'd like a massage.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say too, like when you're messaging with a girl on Tinder, there's always this like buyer-seller dynamic where one person's like proving themselves to the other, like trying to provide value. And this guy is just like laying down his fucking jacket over a puddle right off the bat.
Yeah.
She didn't have to say anything.
No. He double messaged. He quad messaged.
Yeah.
He doubled twice.
Now let's talk about that good time. All my ideas end with a massage. Just saying. He waits like a day. You disappeared from my list. I thought it was because you didn't like my massage ideas. And for the record, those thighs of yours look mesmerizing. Dear God, I'd like a massage. Let's make it happen. I recently bought a new mix of vanilla and jojoba oil, and I've been waiting to use it. Are you free tonight? I am. Want to come over? Absolutely. What's your number?
Same night. Down.
Guy
Wow.
one is down to come straight to her place. Hey, baby, what are you doing tonight? Nothing planned. What are you doing? Nothing planned. Send me your number. Want to come over? Yeah. What's your number? I'll send you my address. Guy number 2. Guy number 3. Hi, babe. Come over and I can show you a great time. What's your number? Let's have a great time tonight. Come over. I feel safer if you come to mine. I live alone. How far? I live in Burkle. Send me your number. I'll give you the address. Guy number 3 is down.
Hold on. If I match with this girl, I'd be posting it on my YouTube saying like, how to get a hookup easily on Tinder.
Oh, dude.
You know?
Yeah.
Like these guys probably feel like fucking kings right now.
Oh, absolutely.
They're like, yo, I'm so good at Tinder.
Yeah.
Little they know they're messaging Catfish Magoo here.
Now, what if, conspiracy theory,
Right.
in order to encourage users on the male ends to use Tinder more, they have fake accounts like this that actually actively flirt with guys.
Oh my God.
Think about that.
Just lead them on.
Yeah. But then they never meet up. But the guys think, oh, like maybe I just didn't message her right. Look at this match I got. Like how many times has a guy been like, yo, bro, look at this girl I matched with, and then it never goes anywhere.
So true. They ghost after a couple messages.
How easy would it be for them to automate bots, but not scam dudes to like
Right.
sign up for OnlyFans, but just to use Tinder?
Just like
more?
AI it a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so true.
So that could be a big lawsuit if that's true. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Big alleged.
Tinder, please sponsor me.
Yeah, good. Got number 4. Spontaneous. I'm going to the Hard Rock. Maybe I'll see you there. Want to meet tonight? Actually, yeah. Looks like my flight is getting canceled. So great timing. Oh yeah, his flight got canceled.
This guy definitely canceled his flight for the kill, eh?
You'd be up for? I'm open. So hit me up if you want to go out, do something, or stay in, do something.
So that's 4. Yeah. So I cut it there. But guys, the full video, Playing with Fire on YouTube, Tinder experiment. It's like 12 minutes of that. But
Wow, bro.
yeah, so just a base reference point. We're not even talking about real life interactions yet, but everybody always says like, oh, you're very generalizing when you say these statistics and things. It's based on stuff like this, okay? 1,700 matches, 24 hours, below average looking girl. Multiple dudes willing to come over that night. All the dudes initiated the conversation without her saying anything to them, and were available that night to hang out and hook up.
My mind is blown, bro.
Yeah.
Now, I did this experiment on my own. And I think I have like a pretty good Tinder profile. Like I'm sitting on like over 3,000 likes right now. In 24 hours, I got about 140 likes. And that's at a guy's standpoint.
So that was like your best.
That's my best. Like, and I would say I'm probably in the top 20% of guys who are getting those matches on Tinder.
Yes.
And like compared to what we'd probably consider like a 3 out of 10 profile for a woman.
Definitely the bottom 20%.
Like, bro, that profile got like 200 times more likes than I did.
Yeah. And not just that, but the conversations were initiated. They were ready to chill that night.
Yeah.
They were sending way bigger messages. So the dynamic, like everything about it completely favored women.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one objection women will say is like, well, all guys want is sex, right? But what women want is commitment. So men are the gatekeepers to commitment. Women are the gatekeepers to sex. So what women do to even the playing field is they leverage sex to get commitment.
Whoa.
Yes.
Dude.
So here's some tips for the girls watching, the queens that think that, oh, well, you know, all guys want is sex. Well, yeah, they do. And that's why they put all the effort in. That's why they make the approach. That's why they spend money on these apps. That's why they watch shows that help guys learn how to talk to girls. The reason is because they want to have sex with a girl and they were willing to do all that stuff, and they'll compromise with a woman and do what she wants as well, which would be, you know, obviously please the woman. Duh.
Yeah, get the job oil out.
Yes. But also you have to use strategies so that you don't make her less attracted to you. So for example, if you're a great guy, good looking, smooth, and you message a girl too much, she's going to be pissed because she's going to be like, man, I liked this guy. He was cool. But like, I automatically am not interested because he's way too into me.
He's so clingy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she doesn't want it to be like that, but she's basing this off of like her own natural instinct when mate selecting, right? To get scientific with you guys. But anyways, the point I'm making though is these queens that are complaining about too much sex, well, all you have to do is just restrict the sex until you get a compromise that you'd like, and then turn that into a relationship, especially with bottom tier men. Because lower tier men, they will submit to women. They will do everything for them. They will simp, as the saying goes. So the point I'm making about this generalization that dating is way easier for women, especially on dating apps, is that as long as women can get sex, they can get commitment. But men cannot get anywhere close to that. Even the top profiles of men. There's just such a differential between the male and female advantage when it comes to dating apps, but also real life, that the only way for women to understand this is by watching this. So hopefully you guys get it now. Those of you queens that are here. By the way, drop a comment if you're a queen and you watch the channel.
Let's hope this video hits that side of the algorithm, eh?
Let's hope so. Now, let's go over a couple more things. So as far as the dating apps goes, blow a couple more mind-blowing facts for you guys. Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, they all have pay-to-play options on them.
Right.
So we've already been over this. They're built to make you consume money on them. One conglomerate company actually owns something like 80 to 90% of the dating apps. Match.com.
Yeah. They own everything, pretty much everything but Bumble.
Yeah, everything but Bumble, I was going to say. Bumble's owned by like a feminist chick.
So she actually used to work for Tinder, one of like the founding kind of members. And then there were some like allegedlys that happened, and she left the company over some allegations.
Interesting.
And started Bumble as like this girl bossed feminist kind of app to compete. Now, Match made an offer to Bumble, I think in 2016, 2017. And she was like, I don't care how much money you give me, I will never sell you my company.
Whoa.
Yeah. Girl boss right there.
You know, since we're dropping crazy facts, I bet that she probably takes pride in that Bumble is run by a woman. Because if she sold it to Match, guaranteed it would have been run by a man.
100%.
Because men own and dominate most of these companies because men are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So one mind-blowing stat, I don't know if you knew this about the makeup industry. So there's 182 major makeup companies in the North American market. And they are collectively owned by 7 major corporations.
Whoa.
So 7 major corporations own 182 of the biggest cosmetic companies. Of those 7 corporations, 6 of them are owned by men.
Stop.
Yeah.
6? Who owns the 7th?
A woman. You know, it's probably like Kim Kardashian, bro.
Oh, maybe it's Kylie Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Kylie Cosmetics is pretty big,
Kylie.
right?
Yeah.
Those lips?
Yeah.
Damn. Yo, but on Bumble, very on topic with girls having it easier than guys.
Yeah.
So Bumble is the only dating app where women must make the first move on men. If girls don't send a guy a message within 24 hours, the match is erased.
Right.
But here's the thing, bro. I don't know if you've used Bumble. I'm on Bumble. 99% of girls open with one of 3 messages. Hey, hi, how are you? The kinds of messages that if a guy sent to a girl would never get a response.
So just throwaways.
Throwaways. And here's the thing, bro. Bumble was like this great feminist idea. Let's put dating in women's hands. What a great concept, right?
Yeah.
But in practice, they have the power in their hands and they throw it right back by just opening with, hey. They're using throwaway lines, just praying that the guy picks up the ball and initiates the conversation.
Yeah, so the guy's still the one with the ball in his court.
100%. It's really just a girl has the power to choose if she'll let the guy talk.
They may as well send a space or just a period dot.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really just saying like, you match with this guy, but are you sure you want to talk to him? That's really all Bumble is.
Yeah, and then the pay to play options are still on the male side.
Yeah.
Now for
100%.
Bumble, I think it's 35% women, 65% men.
Here's the thing about Bumble. Last year, 2021, I rated Bumble as the best dating app. That was like, after 2020, I thought like Bumble was great.
Yeah.
It was so cool, man. Like you could send voice memos on there. Yeah, girls made the first move. Like I was getting like a ton of dates off Bumble. I thought it was sick. Hinge came in, which by the way, Tinder Match Inc. basically created to destroy Bumble.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So here's the thing about Tinder, bro, and Match Corp. Any dating app that like has legs, they just acquire like that. Like they don't let anyone compete.
Yeah.
They throw so much money at them and they just take their company. And here's the thing. Hinge is the Bumble killer. So Bumble was really the only real competition for Tinder if you're dating like under 35.
That makes sense.
Like we're not talking about Plenty of Fish and OkCupid. We're talking like, young dating apps.
By the way, Match.com owns Plenty of Fish and OkCupid.
Facts.
Yeah.
So Hinge comes in, right? And basically every feature that you have to pay for on the other apps, super likes, being able to send a like with a message, seeing your likes, everything totally free on Hinge. And they come in and people are seeing like, okay, before that, Bumble, like if a girl thought Tinder was like kind of sleazy and she wanted something a little more wholesome, she'd be like, well, I'm going to go on Bumble. Tinder's kind of gross. It's for hookups. It's for sex.
Prompts.
Bro, they have prompts. It's like, it's friendlier. Hinge comes in,
Yeah.
takes all the features that Bumble has and even takes some of the ones that you have to pay for on Bumble and says, hey, here they are for free. And by the way, we're not a hookup app. We're the dating app that's meant to be deleted. We're the dating app where you're going to find a relationship. Now, Tinder's obviously the hookup app. Hinge has obviously positioned itself as the relationship app. Bumble is the awkward cousin in the middle that doesn't know what the fuck they want.
And you know what? They're also marketed as the feminist app.
Yeah.
But we all know what feminists look like.
That's the thing, bro. Any quality profile that was on Bumble in 2020 has moved to Hinge. I don't know if you've been on Bumble lately, bro. The quality of profiles, much lower. They all open with hey, and none of them know what they want because if they knew what they want, they'd be on Tinder or they'd be on Hinge. Bumble is sinking like the fucking Titanic,
dude,
bro.
I would argue that one of the reasons there's all these women in the comment sections on TikTok that disagree with the notion that it's super easy for dating with women, maybe they're on Bumble. Because I imagine if I'm a girl, the least success I'm going to have is on Bumble.
100%, bro. Because they're throwing out hey, hi, hello. Like, they're not giving guys who, by the way, guys suck at texting too.
Yeah.
So if you give them nothing to work with, they're like, fuck, I thought she was going to initiate
so first of all, the girl has to initiate.
Yeah.
Second, there's guys on there that aren't like the one night stand guys, they're on Tinder.
Yeah.
And then the ultra fuck boys or the relationship guys, they're on Hinge. Bumble, you have like white knights.
Yeah.
You either have dudes that are 32, they work at a bank, and they have like a nice pea coat and beard. So guys that look like you that don't want to be fuck boys and kind of want the, like, you never want to be in a position where the woman makes the first move. Now, girls have approached me and asked for my phone number, and whenever it happens, I go home. It like made my whole week. I'm like, guys, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's cool.
A girl picked me up.
It's the most validating thing ever, right?
It's against nature. Women don't do that. What women do is they peacock. They sit, they fix their hair, they look at you, or they make a dating app profile.
Right.
So it's awkward for them. And I think Bumble actually encourages its users to be feminist, which are actually more masculine guys, women that take control. And those girls tend to be a bit more disagreeable. And a lot of these girls tend to be more disagreeable because they're higher IQs. And there's a correlation between these higher IQs, less likelihood to get a long-term partner in a male, more likely to be single, less likely to have kids. There's all these numbers you can look into. And I think what happens is those correlations also kind of go hand in hand with girls that are less desirable looking.
Right.
So Bumble is kind of dominated by picky, less desirable physically women that are more disagreeable. And
the guys too, like
unwanted
on both ends.
Yeah.
You're bringing two groups of people who like probably aren't really going to mesh very well.
That's right.
Yeah. Bumble is kind of burning from both ends, buddy.
Tinder is like yes or no. Hinge is like yes, no, maybe. That maybe is that any guy can reply to a prompt. And sometimes I think you only get like what, one a day?
One what?
When you're on Hinge, when you can, the free version. How many of those a day do you get?
So you get 7 likes a day that you can send messages with, but you get like 1 rose a week or a month or something like that. And a rose is basically like,
Super like?
it's basically letting a girl know like, hey, I only have 1 of these likes and I gave it to you. Like it's letting her know that you're like singling her out.
Right.
It's kind of like The Bachelor, you know? It's a
Gotcha.
big deal. It's a really big deal. But what that means practically on the app is when girls go through their likes, if they don't have premium, every guy is blurry until they like reject or accept all the guys in queue. But if you give a girl a rose, she can skip through all the blurry guys and pick you out from the pile.
Do girls know that you can only give, like, the way that you go, okay, like 1 rose a week, for a guy that uses the app, he'd be like, man, I only get 1 a week. So this is like, this is a very important thing I'm giving. Do girls know that you only get 1 a week?
Definitely not, bro. Like, you know how many girls don't even know that they have to send the first message on Bumble?
Oh, dude, that probably destroys the algorithm.
You know how
for
many
them,
girls
too.
in their bio on Bumble say, you have to message me first? Of course they don't know, bro.
Bro, you know what the funniest thing about dating apps is, too? How many of these girls, probably especially on Bumble, I never use this, message me on Instagram.
Oh.
Dude, the worst type of girl on dating apps.
That's the number one sign that she's wasting your time.
Right away, that dynamic is awful because you're actively going off of the app, typing in her username onto Instagram, following, and then sending a message to her. So you're basically bowing down and sucking her dick.
Worse than that too, Jack. To message a girl on Bumble, think about the obstacles you have to overcome. You have to build a profile. She has to like your profile. The algorithm has to bring you together. You have to match. That's tough to do. Beyond that, she has to look at your profile after the match and decide, am I going to message this guy or let him fade away into the abyss? She chooses to message you. You message her back. Like those are a lot of hurdles to even get the opportunity to converse with that girl. Instagram, any dude in the world with a Wi-Fi connection can DM that girl.
And that
on
guy's
Instagram.
always there.
Bumble, zero hurdles.
Delete the account, get a girlfriend, expire. Instagram, he's always there.
It's going from a very exclusive list of guys messaging her to like the most inclusive list, like everyone in the world.
Plus, she doesn't have to play by the parameters of Bumble anymore. A fucking year from now, she could post a story. And that guy from Bumble a year ago, maybe, here's another thing too. These girls, they never follow back, by the way.
Never.
Because unless you're because first of all, if you're a desirable guy, you wouldn't follow her and message her anyways.
Exactly.
Dynamic doesn't work.
Yeah.
But what I think is probably interesting is a lot of these guys that do that, they start to learn social skills, game, and then all of a sudden they transform themselves. And she doesn't even recognize them from Bumble anymore. She sees this guy that replies to her story. She's like, oh, like, who's this good looking guy? Why does he follow me? And the dude will probably be like, oh, I probably saw you on the, you know, maybe we have friends. He's never going to say, hey, I saw you on Bumble.
I've been simping for years while I've been evolving in the shadows. You know, it's funny. Like back in the day, I used to be that guy. I fell for that. And like I would follow hundreds of girls on Instagram from Tinder and they never followed back. And it was weird. Like over the years, I just never unfollowed a lot of these girls. And you start to see them like get a boyfriend, get engaged, get married, have kids. And you're like, damn, like this girl never followed me back from Tinder. And I've just been kind of like simping from the sidelines the whole time.
Do you ever see a girl a lot on a dating app and like you match with her over and over again and then you see her on Instagram and she's like dating some guy and you just want to let him know like, bro, like this is like the fucking girl that everybody gets a date with on dating apps and you're dating her, you know? You
know, it's funny. Like I've been in a couple scenarios. I call those girls my regulars. Like the girls, every time you download Tinder, you know you're matching with them, you know? And everyone watching this knows about that. You've had your own regulars.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple times I've been out like grabbing drinks with friends and one of my regular girls from Tinder will like come in with a guy and like be on a date. And I kind of look at her, she'll look at me and she'll be like, she'll give me that look like, hey, I acknowledge you, but like don't say anything.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want like the date to be real.
Unspoken agreement.
Yeah. And I'm like, Yeah.
See, it's funny. A dude would never go over and be like, yo, bro, this chick, she matches with everybody.
No.
But I feel like if you flip the table, yo, imagine you're wheeling some girl, you match on Tinder, and then she sees you on another date. If she felt you guys had a connection, she's going over like, hey, this guy, yes, queen, like, let's stick, fuck this guy,
Oh, yeah.
But on the other end, if she isn't that insecure and batshit crazy, she sees you with another girl, and she goes, man, this guy's got options. This guy must, it actually makes her more interested in you.
Even if she does go like batshit crazy, it's a sign that she's into you.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That actually brings up a good point. A little bit of a curveball for this episode, guys. This has nothing to do with the episode, but this is an infograph that I found randomly. I think it was from Peterson on his Twitter. I'm going to read this. Male behavior towards female gamers. Before reading this, what are some thoughts that you have? Like, what do you think about male behavior towards female gamers? What are some observations you have to make right away?
So, number one, I grew up playing like Call of Duty and Halo, and I know what those lobbies sound like. And if those, LinkedIn profiles were tied to those gamer tags, half of America would be unemployed.
Facts, dude.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of people's moms would be fucked, dude.
Oh, dude. So I can only imagine, like, to all the female gamers out there who paved the way, because now it's way more mainstream.
Yeah.
Kudos to them. Because if I was a girl in like 2015 playing Call of Duty, I wouldn't put a headset on.
Yeah, dude.
Like the way that guys are on those games, it's rough.
Well, check this out. A 2015 study found that lower skilled male players of Halo 3 were more hostile towards teammates with a female voice, but behaved more submissively to players with a male voice. So basically, the bottom of the barrel dudes, when they were getting owned by a girl, they were super toxic. Mm-hmm. But if it was a guy, they were more understanding of how they were getting owned.
Yeah.
Higher skilled male players, on the other hand, behaved more positively towards female players. So basically, the guys that knew the game good, they'd be like, okay, well, you beat me fair and square. Mm-hmm. It was the guys that were getting owned by everybody and just sucked. They were the ones getting pissed at the female gamers.
Wow.
The conclusion was the authors argued the male hostility towards female gamers in terms of evolutionary psychology, writing, female-initiated disruption of a male hierarchy incites hostile behavior from poor-performing males who stand to lose the most status.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
So here's one thing that I find interesting, right? On this podcast, we talk about a lot of topics. We troll a lot. We piss a lot of people off on all sides of the spectrum.
Lots of satire. I think the guys that watch the actual show, they understand
They get it. Yeah. But like a 10-second clip on TikTok when you're talking about girls with makeup, like that's going to get some duets,
For sure.
But what I will say is like we've called out various aspects of what a lot of feminists would consider toxic masculinity on this podcast. We talk about like the dark sides of masculinity. For example, how it's for some reason sus for guys to take selfies, but girls, no problem, right? Feminists would probably say, hey, that's toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Guys want to take selfies, they should be allowed to. When we call that shit out, they're real quiet in the comments.
Yep.
Right?
Crickets.
And I would say something like this is a perfect example of toxic masculinity. It's guys, it's like the incels, like the bottom of the fucking totem pole guys who are absolutely losing in life, and all they do is just hate on women and blame them for their losses.
Bottom of the barrel.
And that's who, like, we built this podcast to address guys like that and help them level up and become winners in life.
Absolutely.
And
this actually makes life more enjoyable for women.
For women, because we're actually eliminating toxic masculinity by helping men become kings.
Now, here's the biggest problem and beef I have with it. These guys are referred to as toxic masculinity, you would agree.
Right.
They are the farthest thing from being masculine. Nothing about that behavior is masculine.
Yeah.
So the fucking problem is these crazy girls online will say, oh, that's toxic masculinity. That's just toxic men. Because masculinity, in its actual definition, has nothing to do with what those guys are doing. Mm-hmm. These are just bitches. These are guys that talk shit online. And guys understand that because from a young age, we play sports. We get jobs. The first week, everybody breaks your balls because they want to know, like, hey, if this guy gets offended by this, tells the coach, that's the same guy who's going to rat on us when we smoke weed at break. That's the same guy that's going to say, well, they took an extra hour drive back to the work site because they didn't want to work because it was Friday.
Right.
The guys that will get offended by these jokes you make the first week, those are the guys that aren't going to be there working those extra hours on weekends. So men have a way to test other men. Now, because of this, it's baked into our nature to talk shit and test other men, especially on Xbox. Now, we also troll each other because it's a form of getting into our opponent's heads when we're playing, right? Mm-hmm. You hear it all the time when guys are playing video games. They chirp dudes, and they get aggressive when they play the game, and they get owned every time. It's like a legit strategy. So all of this are things that we learn when we play video games. Now, what happens is you get all this knowledge, and then you put it in the hands of a fucking angry dweeb that has no repercussion for talking shit online. Yeah. Because he is just on his Xbox. He's on TikTok. He's not in real life. They would never say these things in real life. But on here, not only are they pissed off and they're understanding, but there's no repercussion. And because of that, they get vicious. And they do it to men, but especially they do it to women. The only difference in men and women on here is the men actually want to fuck women. They don't want to fuck the men. So because they don't want to fuck the men, there's no incentive for them to really have any kind of beef with men. They just go, oh, like more men hate on women than other men. But I would argue more women hate on other women than men hate on other women.
Whoa.
Women's biggest haters are other women.
That's a fucking fact, bro.
Hot girls know this. If you're not a hot girl, you probably don't have as much of an understanding. But dude, the bottom barrel feminist chicks, man, they hate a hot girl that loves like cooking and cleaning and will vocalize that. Feminist's worst nightmare. Mm-hmm. You want to see crickets? Get a hot girl talking about how much she loves a guy that provides for her, how much she loves taking care of that man, cooking, and raising kids in the house. Feminists are gone, dude.
And you know what's funny? Like when you get off Twitter, you meet a lot of those women out in the real world.
Yeah.
A lot.
Shockingly.
The majority.
Now, it's inexcusable for these guys to do this, but if these guys were having success with women, they wouldn't be talking shit to female players on Xbox.
Facts, bro.
So I know a lot of people say, I get this a lot in the comment section too, like, well, guys, there's so much more to life than dating. Yeah, obviously. But having a girlfriend and being able to talk to girls and assimilate with them, date them, that's actually like a shit test for life. Because if you can't do that, you don't reproduce. Mm-hmm. And if you don't reproduce, you're essentially useless. Now, in the current
be careful with that, okay?
In the current world, you don't have to reproduce.
Right.
But we're talking about animals here.
Okay.
Yeah, your genetics would not.
We're going back thousands of years.
Yeah, I had a debate with somebody once where I argued like, if I dedicate my life to helping others and, you know, adopting kids that have been abandoned and raising 100 of them, that would be more beneficial than me having like 5 kids of my own.
Right.
If you want to get to that spectrum. Mm-hmm. But essentially, like, it is a necessary skill for a person to have to be able to talk to both men and women, but especially the opposite sex. Because if you can't talk to women, immediately, that's 50% of people in your life you can't talk to.
Whoa.
And women, when they see a guy that can't talk to other women, they are repulsed. They're awkward. They don't want their kids around him. They don't want their friends around him. And men see this. Mm-hmm. And they go, fuck, when I hang out with this guy, the girls don't like to be around me. Yeah. So then they abandon that guy. And what ends up happening to those guys, they become incels and they talk shit on Xbox.
Yeah. I think like when you look at like dating isn't everything. That was a great speech, by the way.
Yeah, I got
round of a fucking applause.
Fucking heated there, man.
Someone clip that. But dude, like you think about dating, obviously it's not the meaning of life is to go on a bunch of dates and rack up your kill count. No. But if you're able to do it, that's clearly a sign of you having some level of success and security and accomplishment in life.
Yeah.
Because no bum is doing that.
No. Because women in their nature have to be selective. So if you can pass their test, then that means you're passing someone's test. Mm-hmm. It just shows stability. It shows that you have your shit together to at least some degree. And when men make friends, all they pay attention to is, are you equal or greater? Okay. And if you're not the same strength as us, we could see potential in you, right? So that's where mentorship comes in. That's where like, hey, like stop bullying this guy comes in. But for the most part, when men have a group, they are looking for somebody that can provide value to the group, because if they don't, then you weaken the whole group.
It's true. That's why I keep you around, man. Like I see potential in you.
Yeah.
You're going to get there one day.
Like Train Boy. Him as an example, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're about the 1 hour mark. So just wrapping up here. Now, the point of this, dating is easy for women, and here's why. I wanted to go more into like real life as opposed to dating apps. So now probably going to put the title to be dating apps in there because we just talked about dating apps.
You know what though? Maybe that's a sign of a part 2.
Yes, guys, if you want to see part 2 of why dating is easier for women, we will do the real life version.
I've never talked to him in real life, so
yeah, we're gonna have to figure it out.
yeah,
We're
bring
gonna
on a different guest for that one.
go out in the field, get the binoculars out. But what's crazy is, yeah, like just dating alone, like we basically just exposed the whole dating industry.
Yeah.
You know, I don't fuck with dating apps anyways, but there's a lot of guys out there that's all they do. That's all they do is dating apps.
Yeah.
You have to have a balance, real life dating apps. But
100%.
like, look what you're playing with, man. 1,700 matches.
You're playing with fire.
On that. Oh, that was good. Anyways, guys, be sure to hit that like button, join the Discord. Check out Cringe Daddy for ironically dating app advice.
There you go.
TikTok, YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on dating apps. We'll definitely do some more of these. We're going to do a new episode every single week. Also, we got the Dating Strategies Explained series coming. If you guys have people famous, rich, Instagram, whoever, and you want to know how they get girls precisely in detail, we'll do a video on that. There's a request a video section on the website. So if you guys want to pay to sponsor an episode, a topic will be done solely on your question. Not a whole podcast, but like a 10, 15-minute video. And then not only do you get to see it and learn from it, but everybody else gets to see it too. So that link is in the description as well. And anything else you want to add to that?
Buddy, stay toxic.
Stay toxic. Peace.